Hi Swami, how are you?
Good.
That's good. If you don't mind, I'd like to talk about a topic that I think every person goes through in their lifetime, and the topic is anger. So are you okay with giving us an insight to how anger can affect people's lives?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, I've got a few questions that I'll just run through, and we'll look forward to your answers. The first one, Swami, what does anger do to the body?
Oh, well, it affects the liver and the endocrine system. So you have a complete, adrenaline comes boom, and your mind is affected by the change of the chakras when you get really angry. And there's rage. I always think that anger is caused by something. Well,
Yes.
You have to really find the trigger. If you're a yogi, you have to find the trigger, because if you are on this path seeking self-realization, and I'm mainly Irish background, so you can imagine my temper, hence the name Durga. But you have to find what triggers it off. And I found very early that injustice, I'm not jealous, I don't care what anybody else has or what they do,
Yep.
But injustice, that really can make me quite angry. And so there's emotions, and all this changes the chakras on the emotional level, which is the front part of our chakras. And the back part of the chakras are will, and it plunges down, because the chakra or the energy center for anger is in the thighs.
Oh.
Now, what I'll ask is that Emily puts up a little diagram of the chakras, because I think that's really important that people see them, and then they can work out themselves which organ is affected by which chakra. But let me tell you, it's the liver. It will be also the heart and the endocrine system.
So, for me, in my mind, that's the internal part of you.
Yeah.
So how does it affect the physical body? How does a physical react to anger? So do you start to change the way you feel, look? Do you change the way, how can I put this? Yeah, so I suppose just getting back to does the physical body react to anger? And if so, is it a manifestation? That's the word I was looking for.
You mean the outer?
The outer, yes.
No, I don't think so. I think, your facial will change with anger, of course. And you'll hit out. But I don't think actually it's it more is internal, because anger is an emotion, so that would affect the body more internally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So
it affects the aura as well.
So how does it then, what does anger represent spiritually? So
loss of discipline, you lose yourself, loss of self.
How can we overcome anger spiritually?
Well, we can contemplate on the reasons why we get angry, but we can also think, next time I get angry, take a deep breath in and just exhale, and you'll find it'll help it to pass. You have to be disciplined. Take a deep breath in, just breathe out, and the time it takes you to breathe out slowly, it'll change your emotion and change your mind.
So I remember you saying many years ago there was is it a reaction to the action?
Oh yeah.
So is anger, like, you could actually look at anger that way. You could
Yes,
say,
you can
what
look
is
at
your
anger.
action, or what is your reaction to that action?
Yes. And you can say that every time I get angry. So why am I getting angry? Now think about it. Say, is it injustice? Is it envy? Is it jealousy?
Could it be unhappiness? Could it be
Oh,
you're
I
unhappy
think-
with you're unhappy with your lot in life at the moment, or you're
Well, if you're unhappy with your lot in life and it makes you angry all the time and you become emotional, do something about it. I mean,
Yeah.
if it's with a partner, talk to your partner.
Yep.
Say, look, I'm not happy. Or say, look, this isn't right for me. I think we should just split. Let's do time out.
Yep.
Or whatever.
Just say it's an argument with a friend, or an anger with a friend, like as you said before, with injustice.
Yeah,
So they might believe in one thing, you believe in another,
that's fine.
and so you can agree to disagree.
Yeah, agree
and
to
that doesn't
disagree.
mean it's anger.
No,
That
it's
just
not
means-
anger. It's just, maybe a heated discussion, but don't let it get beyond that, because that's a loss of self if you do.
Yeah.
And you're looking for self-realization in this
Yep.
journey.
So asking where anger comes from, we've just answered that really.
Yes.
And is it all emotion?
Yes.
Part of it is, a big
Yeah.
part of it is, isn't
Yes.
it? It's So how do we overcome and manage our emotions when we are angry?
Well, I just said, take a deep breath. You have to calm down. You'll have to do a bit of cleansing, which I've already done. I think
Yes.
you've had a podcast on cleansing.
Yep.
You need to do that after, because what you've done, your life force has, the energy that the soul sends out into the chakras, it's dropped. Now, you might have been meditating nicely and got, a nice little thing happening, and your energy levels are up. What happens when they drop? That's dangerous, because if it stays, Vitala down here in this chakras on the thighs, you're going to remain angry, and you're going to think about it, get angrier and angrier. And you don't want that. You want to start, meditating, getting your energy and getting this, getting the energy back up again.
So even in one of your books called Thoughts of Things, that's, although it may not talk too much about anger and all this kind of stuff, it actually makes you reflect, just in the name of the title, that our thoughts create what can happen.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So how do we release, or how can we release anger from our body and mind? Is it a meditation type of thing? Is it just a cleanse? Like, I know you mentioned cleansing. So is there something else that people
you can
could reflect
stand
on?
under a cold shower. It works on letting the water run on the top of your head, and just brushing yourself down
Yeah.
like this. That will work.
So that could be a few seconds. Just
Oh.
you could have a normal shower and then turn on the
or
and
jump
let-
in the swimming pool.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's
Yep.
a good one. I have done that.
I've done the ocean.
Oh, good.
So, yeah.
That works as well.
Can you please explain why anger is a very negative emotion in yoga?
Well, in yoga, there's no sins, but there is the negative aspects, and that's a negative aspect of our nature. And it comes together with, envy, as I said before, envy, jealousy, pride, all the rest of it. And we can't afford anger as a practicing yogi. It's not allowed. It cannot be.
So, being a practicing yogi, we're still human, or you're
Yes.
still human.
Yes.
So, emotions will come, anger will come, but as a yogi, you would have the wisdom, I'll call it, to be able to knock that on the head.
Yes,
Fairly
quickly. You can feel as you're going to get angry, you can feel the rising of an anger, can't you?
Yes, you
when
can.
have, and
Yep.
as you feel it coming up, breathe out.
Okay.
Just push it back down again. And then when you're on your own, because that emotion you push back, you've pushed it back, you haven't got rid of it, it's not gone.
Yep.
Then when you're on your own, say, why did that happen? How did it happen? What can I do about it? I can't do anything about it. Just ignore it next time.
Yeah, that's good advice for the average Joe.
Yeah.
So if you have a negative thought, how do we change it before it starts to grow in our subconscious?
Well, here we are with the auric field again, because if you have a negative thought, it goes into the subtle body, the first layer of the aura, and it goes out. I believe there's about 52 layers of that aura. And then it will slowly come back in again. Even if you think, oh, I'm not going to think like that, I'm going to change that, it comes back into you again. All of a sudden you've got that negative thought. It keeps pushing back because your subtle body thinks you want it.
Yes.
So always change it. But I always say, if there's something like that comes up and you can feel it, tag it. Say, oh, that's coming. I can feel that. If you're doing meditation and you're doing your practices, you will be able to feel this and say, no, I don't want that. That's not for me.
So is our mind positive and strong enough to be able to resist?
I hope so.
And if it's not, what would you say to the listeners to help them to get to that first stage or get through that first stage? Because some people are just angry all the time.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what happens.
Yeah.
They're angry with the world, they're angry with their friends, they're angry with their family, they're angry with the teachers. They're just angry. So for those people that are not at that level, what would be the first tip or what the first suggestion or a bit of advice you'd give them?
Actually, when you ask me that question, it brings me to a CD I made. You are the most important person. I think if you wanted to listen to that CD, that helps you go through to understand yourself, and my voice will actually calm you down.
Oh.
Yes, I think that could be a really good,
Excellent, that's good.
Because on your own, if you're angry all the time, on your own, you're going to flounder.
Correct.
You won't be able to do it.
And we always go back to our old
Yes,
ways.
and your old space is better than a new space, so you'll go back to it. But I think if you listen to my voice on the CD, it will help you to lift your vibration, which will negate that negativity.
Oh, excellent. And I think you've answered a lot of the questions within one of the questions because you've gone that edge deeper. So I really appreciate that, Swami. Swami, thank you so much for your time. That was sensational.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us in another episode of the Teachings of Samata. For further information regarding these teachings with Swami Durgananda and the products, please check out the website below. To follow along with this journey, please subscribe for more. And thank you. We hope to see you again soon.